Why is it bad to be a traditional person? After careful consideration, I have decided it is not worth engaging with this comment section. I mean, if you are applying traditionalism to your own life, no problem. If you want to control how others live, then of course it's bad. From the opposite end, reasonable people just want you to respect their space choices. Sahayop. At one point I felt the same way. Then I went, does it affect me? No. These are things out of my control, and quite frankly life is a lot better if you just don't care. And treat everyone the same regardless. So in other words, simply do not care about it because it doesn't affect you. The short answer is, it's not bad for you to prioritize traditional values. Where it becomes wrong is when you try to force those values onto other people and it results in them being unable to live the life that they want. Gay marriage quite literally doesn't affect you in any way whatsoever. So just leave them alone. Society is a living concept. It changes and evolves over time. If we always stuck to traditional ways of doing things, we wouldn't have sent humans to the moon. We wouldn't have ended slavery. Women wouldn't be allowed to vote. We would still be living in caves and jungles if we refused to let our societal norms change. That's the result of the traditionalist mindset. As far as I can tell, nobody wants to take your traditions from you. They just don't care to follow them. They're making their own traditions. And they don't care what you do. Why do you care what they do? I'm queer and don't prefer nudity at LGBT events. Are you okay with it at straight events? So I stay dressed and find myself amongst other dressed individuals. Easy solution and on with my day. You can have traditional values that guide your life. That's perfectly fine. What you can't do is expect your values to guide other people's lives. Those of us on the outside of traditional take a lot of mental, emotional and physical abuse all in the name of traditional values. Remember to ask yourself if you're contributing to this harm in any way. One thing I would encourage is to keep an open mind and engage with people you may not initially think you have anything in common with. You may be pleasantly surprised. You may even realize you can support a lot more subjects, topics, issues, others without it having any negative impact on you or your life at all. Also, no need to engage if you're really not feeling it. Just be kind and move on. Just be nice to everyone and everyone will be nice to you. That's what I do. It's not bad. The issue is trying to apply your values on other people. My opinion is we can't make every radical changes to society only to accommodate a small portion of people. So now that your views on gender are quickly becoming the view of a small portion of people, should the majority have to accommodate you? I don't think people are against traditions just because they're traditions. So I don't know why we need to defend traditions just because they're traditions. I have my own traditions I still celebrate and cherish. I'm against the death penalty not because I hate tradition but because I think it's a bad idea to give that power to the state and it's not effective at deterring crime. It being a tradition has nothing to do with my reasoning. What exactly is the tradition being preserved here? Are you actually treating executions as an event you pay attention to and share with your family? Or do you just think the policy should stay? That's not an argument for tradition, anyway. It's just a preference. Or with gender. There are traditions out there that do say there are more than two genders. Or that gender is more fluid than we might think of it today. Or it doesn't exist in the same way. Even then, those traditions and the one you're upholding still have to deal with what modern research and medicine says, which takes pains to separate out differences between biological sex, which is more complicated than male, female, and the social construct of gender. Saying you think there are only two genders because of tradition isn't really a complete answer. No one cares. No one's breaking down your doors because you don't support gender-fluid people. Traditional systems were built in a world lacking respect for people from different cultures or walks of life. Younger generations are going to get more socially progressive. It's the natural order of things. Traditional means conservative in the overall aspect of society, and will always struggle to keep things the same. It's not bad to have personal values, but you can't get upset when people take offense to certain ones. I'm non-binary. I get the feeling any exchange or interaction we have you will in some way disrespect me and who I am simply because you don't believe in it. We all carry the baggage and consequences of our opinions. If you dislike yours, that's nobody else's fault. You can believe change is bad. That won't stop change from occurring in society. People are going to exist regardless of what you believe or not. So the fact that your beliefs want to stay fixed at a certain point while some of us are going beyond that is nothing to do with us. I'm non-binary. You don't believe I exist or don't support me being such. But that doesn't mean I need to pretend in order to follow your beliefs. Does it? Anyway, what you're saying doesn't make sense. You only want to support changes that the majority approve of? So then if the majority of people wanted the death penalty gone, you'd go along with it? But surely your beliefs aren't bound to public opinion. Surely you believe it's right morally in order to think it's the right thing. No? A counter question. Why does transgenderism bother you? How does it affect your life? Okay, to your exact point. How does gender fluidity hurt society? How does a nude human body hurt society? How does not killing people hurt society? As for there only being two sexes, if you go by the binary sex system, then that is kind of true. But it's quite an outdated classification method. You find a lot more outliers than you'd expect for an accurate classification system. Technically, if you're including various other things, there are I think 7 biological sexes. But even if you dismiss them as rarities, those rarities are common enough to suggest that the binary sex system needs updating to be more accurate. What we know changes all the time. So just because we knew something as true 50 years ago doesn't mean it's necessarily just as accurate today. Your traditional values, when enforced, oppress people. You see, what other people do is none of your business. You live your life how you want, and don't tell others how to live theirs. It's surprisingly simple to do. If you're only worrying about living your own life in a traditional way, then it's not an issue at all. It's when you start thinking you should be able to force other people to live your preferred traditional lifestyle that it becomes a problem.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.